when we keep her in character, and then there's Shayla and Desiree, and you notice at the end of the performance, they said they wanted to stand up and do something about it. So if I asked you all, if you had a friend who was like Jessica, had a problem like this, what would be some of the suggestions you would make? Because Jessica in her head already thinks no one will help her. And she feels if she speaks out, they still won't help her. So what would be ways that you think she could begin to, if you were her friend, how would you help her? Because we really, remember, we are the stand-ups. The stand-ups really have to do that. Yeah.
I personally would, bring her over somewhere else, and, we could talk about it, and then go tell, the principal and her mom.
Okay, the first thing she said, which I think is important, hold your hands down for a second. Let's just keep points that we had. First, she listened to her. She would give her an opportunity to talk to her as a friend, and you'd take her to a private place. So wouldn't you have appreciated if somebody in the school would have stood up for you and said, hey, let's talk about this, away from everybody else, another student?
Wait.
She's suggesting that she would come up to you and say, look, I really didn't like what was happening, and I want to talk to you about it as another student. Now, she may say she wants you to go to the principal, and you maybe resist that a little bit, but she would be wanting to reach out to you in some way.
I'd be very, very grateful.
Right.
And
Okay. What about what you would do if you saw something like that happen? What about what would you do if you saw someone be either told that your clothes look like you came from the Salvation Army, you're ugly? What would you do if you were standing around when that happened? Yes?
I told the bully that hers looked just like hers.
Okay, now that comment, hers look just like hers. So then then we're basically saying if somebody puts one person down, then we're going to put them down again. So we really want to try to figure out, although I'm glad that you thought about it, because thinking about the answers are important, but we don't want to do another put down on top of a put down, do we? You know what I mean? Because then we're really increasing bullying. She bullies her, I'll bully him, we'll keep the bullying going. What other suggestions could we say to that person?
I would pull the bully over and say, if you stop bullying her, you can make a big difference, and you won't stop, and eventually she'll want you to stop.
Okay, nice. Everybody hear that? She said, pulling the bully over to the side and saying, if you stop bullying, you could make a really big difference. And probably you're saying to her, too, that you'd feel good about her, the bully, if she stopped, because you'd see her doing something better, stopping bullying.
Miss Hedda?
Yes. What? Something positive.
Well, like what Cecily just said, when she said to pull the bully aside, most people don't listen and just give you an attitude and just walk away.
Okay, but that's true, and a bully will act like that, but what she was doing would in some way make the person who's being bullied feel like there was somebody who was trying to help her. So we're trying to just do a little bit of that too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I understand, because I think you're right. Somebody who's bullying is going to probably fight and resist.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. But she's trying, and by her doing that, Jessica sees that somebody's standing up for her. And that's very important, that she's not alone. Because remember what Jessica said at the end of the scene? I'm alone. Yes?
I'm actually bullied myself, and if I was in his shoes and I was a bystander and I was a watcher, I'd pull it over, I'd say, hey, let's go tell somebody, and let's go resolve this issue.
Okay.
Because if we don't, it's not going to stop.
It's a very important point. And I'm glad that you raised that you yourself were bullied, because we all have to start talking about it so that it will stop. So that it will stop. And if the first person doesn't do anything about it, then we have to go to another person that we trust. Like there's a lot of people you trust here at Girls Inc. And you may have to talk to them here at Girls Inc. first before you say something at the school. Yeah, your ideas. Right. You wouldn't like it being done to you, so don't do it to someone else. Yes?
lie, saying like that, it'll make her like not be as mean because she doesn't feel like she has any power over you.
What do you think about that suggestion? Because that's a pretty powerful statement. Did she say it real fast? Did you catch it, or you want me to repeat it?
I got it.
Okay.
Well, it's helpful, but I don't know if she'll listen.
Right. See, the hard part about this is she may not listen. It's important for you to say something about how you feel.
You mean it'll make me feel better about myself?
About you. I think that's what she's trying to say. To try to make you feel better about yourself, that I don't believe what you're saying. I like my style. I like my suspenders. I like my two different colored socks. I like my style. You know, and lots of times if you're a little different or a little unique, that's when you get bullied often, because you're not exactly the same as everybody else. So that was a very powerful suggestion. Yes, my God, this is a fabulous group. Yes. You what?
It's okay to be myself.
Okay, this was she said in a very low voice, come stand up for a second, I want this person to be seen. Turn around, because there's a very important point. What she just said was, I want everyone to be able to know that it's okay to be myself. Can we give her a round of applause for that one? That's what Girls Inc. is all about. It's okay to be myself. And lots of times, people who think that you should all be looking the same and acting the same are the ones who are bullying. Yep, back there, yes.
Why couldn't she just say there's nothing you can do to her?
Ah, that's a good one. There's nothing you can do to hurt me.
But the problem is it does hurt me.
Okay, so then, what would you do then if she says, but it does hurt me? How could she feel better and not feel so hurt? Remember, most of the friends in the school, she said, have walked away from her because Mary now has control and power, like someone said back there, over other kids. What else could you do as somebody in the school who doesn't know her that well but wants to know her? Yeah.
As her friend, I would say, I would pull the bully over and say, you can bully me, or you can stop, and it would make a big difference, but please don't bully my best friend.
Okay, please don't bully my best friend. Shayla and Desiree, would you want to add something in terms of what you think about this topic and what you think has to be done and how we as young girls here in Girls Inc. can help? Because there are a few other things we might be... Hold your hands down for a second. Let's just hear from some of our stage people what they think might be some answers to that haven't been said already, but much of it has been said. Yeah.
Desiree would like to say something.
Okay, Desiree, go ahead.
I'd like to go first. I don't have anything. We wasted it all on the crowd on the...
But they didn't hear it. Okay. They answered a lot of questions when they did it on the weekend. So I was just trying to include you if you felt you were not included. If it's okay if you don't want to say anything, that's fine too.
Can I say some of the questions?
What?
Can I say some of the questions, other questions?
Yes.
Some of the other questions that people had were...
On Friday and Saturday night.
If you had your dad, how would this be different?
I said that night, me and my dad were really close, and when he always made me feel better when something was wrong. So when he died, I lost a piece of me, so it lowered my self-confidence, and I didn't feel so good about myself and didn't have anyone to talk to.
Okay. Do you want to recall any other questions or that? Okay, that was one of the questions they had asked in the audience. Before we end, I want to just do one other thing.